One take, one take. This is NBA One Take featuring your boy Lakers. This is NBA One Take for your head. NBA One Take for your brain. I'm coming to you live from Red Hook, New York. This is NBA One Take, June 13, 2023. The Denver Nuggets is the NBA champions. The Denver Nuggets won the NBA championship as they defeat the Miami Heat 94-89 in what was a dog fight of a game and costly mistakes towards the end for the Miami Heat. It was just one of those rock fight games, and we just didn't know at the end what was going to happen. Did Miami have enough to try to get back in this series, to try to drive it to 7 games, or was Denver going to close in home? But the Denver Nuggets did that. They closed the Miami Heat in 5 games. Nikola Jokic, Finals MVP, scoring 28 and 16. Jamal Murray with 14, 8 and 8. And Michael Porter Jr. playing great defense, as well as hitting real costly shots that put Miami away. He finished with 16 and 13. And for Miami, it was just Jimmy Butler 21, Bam Adebayo 20 and 12. They just could not get it done. We thought we was going to see Tyler Hero. He was available, but he did not play in these games. The Denver Nuggets has won. They're the NBA champions. And the core of their team looks like it's not going to be going anywhere for a long time. So the Nuggets may be on the verge of something special. You see, I hate when they say dynasties, right? Because they would say, oh, they could be the dynasty. Just like they said it with the Bucks. Just like they're going to say with the Warriors again. Listen, ladies and gentlemen. The way the league is going to be right now, we may get a different champion for another 6 or 7, 8 years, right? I think the way they are having it, they want that dynasty crap out the window, right? The only way I can see a dynasty happening if it's almost a Shaq and Kobe situation, where you have the best player in the world and you have the second best player or the third best player, whichever way you want to see it, where their dominance oversees what another 1-2 punch or a great team can overcome. That's what Shaq and Kobe, that's like Shaq and Kobe's always going to be, to me, the best 1-2 combo in the NBA history. Because they're close in dominance. Foreshadowed what another team was doing. Their closeness, right? I'm not gonna say Jordan and Pippen, because obviously Jordan is here and Pippen is some notches below. No matter what you think he is, he's notches below. So I don't see no dynasty happening. I don't see that. I don't see that. So, but this raises a lot of questions and concerns about what's going to happen further on with the Heat. Are they going big game hunting? Yes, they are. to what I heard, and explore options and getting someone else. Mainly, probably a good point guard. A point guard that can be really a good facilitator, scorer, while Jimmy and Bam really focus on the defensive part of the game, while the floor leader could work on the offensive flow and what's going on, and someone else can, and those two will focus anchoring on defense. So that is crazy. There's going to be a lot of rumors. I'm not going to get through those rumors about the players that's going to think with the Heat. Also, shout outs to, Jamal Murray, shout outs to Mike Malone, coach. These guys won a championship. So I'm very, very proud of those guys, and, Nikola Jokic, I've been skeptical of him for, a couple years now and things like that, but he was very, very dominant in his run. It's played well too in other, other years past. One thing that does concern me, especially, you're hearing things on TV when guys say they hot takes and things like that. Like, come on. They just won this championship. Now you want to rank Jokic as one of what? You say he's top 15. He's a better center than Shaq. He's better than center than Olajuwon. He's better than Will. Like, oh God. Why do y'all do this rankings? Why do y'all do this? This makes no sense. To even rank him right now is just ridiculous. I'm telling you, it is. And I always tell people, I said, listen, when you do rankings, right? Factor everything. The player, the skill, their era of winning championships, as well as media pressure and the story. That means something. Because if you don't factor those in, then what do you totally based on someone? You got to factor all those key components in when you factor in someone's greatness, right? So when we have the top 10, right? When we have that top 10, we talk about these guys, right? We're talking about a lot of things, especially if you're in a small market and you are not the main story, but you do gobble up a lot of awards, right? That means something. That's like when I ranked Tim Duncan. I don't put Tim Duncan as a top 5 guy because he never had the pressure of never winning back-to-back, as well as not being the main story of the NBA. He's always took a back seat to other teams and kind of went under the radar, which he kind of liked, but that media pressure, them always in your face, to deal with that for 82 game season as well as the playoffs, but not just in the finals. That's totally different than you dealing with that on a day-to-day basis. Feeling that pressure. Magic and Larry Bird would tell you something like that. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar would tell you something like that. Kobe Bryant, Shaquille O'Neal. That's the thing. That's how come when they say Steph Curry and things like that, yeah, Curry could get in that top 10. He could get in that top 10 because he's been a main storyline with the NBA since after they won their first championship in 2015. So 2016 on, he's been one of the top storylines in the league with a lot of media attention, with a lot of media that he actually fostered and created, the Warriors and things like that in that Bay Area, because the media, what it was then and what it was now is totally different. You will see so many people was employed. The Warriors employed a lot of beat writers, help build networks, and that's on the back of Steph Curry. So those things have to factor in when you factor in top 10 players, and you factor in those things, because it does matter. It does matter. And you have to factor those big components in when you're factoring these things, because it does matter. I said that to Bill Simmons. I said, look, the story does matter. Storylines and everything do matter. Not just winning on the court. Not just gobbling up awards. Facing adversity. Facing tremendous adversity is something. When you don't win a championship and they down your damn throat, or this and that, or this thing's happened inside your organization, and they constantly talking about it. They bothering you about it. And we're the effects in the court and how you get through it is something. I mean, Shannon Sharp said Shaq and Kobe underachieved. We all know they did. We know they did. They both will tell you that. Kobe said if he handled things differently. Shaq said if he would have got in shape and been more serious and everything else, they would have won more. But Shaq also clearly states this too. If he would have focused just on basketball, he would have never been in his position at TNT. He would have been in a position to brand and market himself, to be in multi-billion-dollar brands and brand himself and make all this kind of money. No, it would have never been like that. He would have just been a dominant center. And then how would that help him? You know? Shaq was always, he thought ahead of the game. And that's what you always got to factor those things out. So we say that thing about Jokic. Jokic is just, like I said, he just want to rise his horses. He, that's him, But to put him in that, no, you gotta, it's a lot. And it's tough in a smaller market. It's tough in a smaller market. To get in those conversations when you really, really got to look at it. But like I said, that's the thing. When you play in the big markets, you going against tremendous scrutiny, tremendous day-to-day, what you're doing. And that's totally different. When you don't have to deal with that. He's in Denver. The Denver. What's the big teams in Denver? The Broncos is number 1. Number 2 is the Avalanche. Then maybe the Nuggets or the Rockies, depending on what they do in the season. But this is NBA One Takes Pretty Boy Laker, and I'm out.